everybody, this is Wendy with Languages of Lights, and this is our first follow-up to the Bashar's inspired 49-day self-love challenge, in which we are doing a little, how would you call that? There's little things that we need to do every morning and every evening, and kind of mirror work where we're looking in the mirror, and we're doing it for 7 weeks. Empowerment, love that, with spring teams. Christine, thank you. And I wanted to welcome everybody who has been challenged to take the challenge, and to all who are here today, and Bianca, John Lee, and Whispering Teams, also Christine, also known as Christine, and me, Wendy. And now Christine's been following it, and Bianca and Jonalie are just coming in. So this is really good, because for anybody who hasn't started yet, you can start anytime. You can hop in. I mean, as far as you can start your challenge, self-challenge, anytime you want. I did an original video a week ago explaining what to do with the program, what you need to do every day, in the morning and in the evening, and it's just a couple of minutes. It's actually not even really minutes. I actually found it really just takes not even really a minute. So it's, I think, more about the challenge of doing it every day, of doing it, of being committed to yourself and to doing something for yourself to make yourself feel better, to find the love within you so that we can find the love for each other. It's been a really crazy, busy, hectic week. I'm a little tired, so forgive me if I'm a little bit slow on the uptake. I've been doing a lot of talking the last few days. Now, I did a video last week, as I mentioned, and it basically outlined what we do, and I'll read over it really quick if you if you want to see the whole thing beginning to end, it's posted here, and it's called the Know Thyself 49-Day Self-Love Challenge, and I did a video outlining the steps. And so basically, it's for 49 days, 7 weeks, for 7 days a week, and it's just a little bit of, really, a little bit of work, a little bit of looking at ourselves in the mirror and speaking specific phrases or thoughts, and documenting how we feel about saying the words, about how we feel about keeping up with it. So basically, I wasn't sure if I should run through the whole thing again, maybe not, just to save time if you guys have questions afterward. But basically what we're doing is every morning, every day for 7 days, you do something a little bit different every morning, and then you do it again before you go to sleep. So like Monday, and they're laid out as such that they are arranged in such a way that they're in the order in which of things you cannot live without. So say, for example, the beginning is air, because the first thing we can't live without is air. So on Monday, the exercise would be doing a deep breathing exercise, and then you would say, you would take a deep breath before each statement, and you say each statement once, and you would say, and you were looking into your eyes the whole time, and you're saying, I am a child of creation, I am unique, and I am worthy. And that's it. That's the exercise for Monday morning, and then you do the same thing before you go to bed in the evening. Now, my experience on that first Monday was remember, I was really excited about remembering to do it, and so I was like, I wrote it down, and my mom's doing it too, so it was kind of fun. So we made sure we had everything written down, and we didn't forget to do it, and so that was kind of funny. And then I kind of found myself having to remind myself on Monday evening to do it before I went to bed. And the idea too is that it's supposed to help start opening, new ideas, thought patterns, self-awareness, things about you. So it's to kind of keep track too of what you notice along the way, along the week as you're practicing it. How do you feel about making the statements to yourself in the mirror? Does it feel weird? Is it fun? Are you excited? Is it boring? Has anything new come to you? That kind of an idea. So then on Tuesday, the next thing we can't live without is water. So you're supposed to take one sip of water before each statement, and you say before each statement a sip of water, and then you would say, I am happy, I am grateful, I am refreshed. And that would be your Tuesday exercise, and then you go about your day and you do the same thing before you go to bed. I remember waking up and thinking, oh yeah, I got to do the thing, and oh yeah, I got to go get my water, and so that I just kind of remember having to think about having to do it. But it's just funny when you start something new, you almost have to remind yourself that you're doing it. At least that was my experience. Wednesday is the next thing we can't live without is food. So therefore, the next part of the exercise is to take one small bite of something that you really like and enjoy, and to take a little small bite of it, and while looking in the mirror and saying out loud, I am abundant, I am nurtured, and I am fulfilled. That one I thought was funny. I don't know why. I kind of started laughing at myself in the mirror when I was doing it, because it was I don't know. I get to look at yourself while you're eating. I don't know. I found it kind of funny, and I forgot, what did I pick? I think I picked it was breakfast for me, so I picked a tangerine, like a clementine orange thing, and so I was eating it, and I was just sort of laughing at myself in the mirror. I don't know. I just thought, for whatever reason, I thought it was kind of comical, and I was trying to remember what I ate on Wednesday night. Gosh, I can't remember. I guess I don't imagine that it matters, but. So anyway, I just thought it was a little comical. The next one is Thursday, which the next thing we can't live without is love and encouragement. And this one this is one where you actually have to stand in the mirror with your hands in a hug, hugging yourself. And what you do is you hug yourself in one direction with one arm, and then you say, I am supported, and then you switch arms, and then the next you say, I am guided, and then you switch again, and you say, I am loved. And I don't know, I guess it just sort of made me feel all the things that I was saying. I can see how it activates something in you, where you really do, just saying it out loud and feeling it, you really do invoke that feeling of feeling supported and guided and loved. And so I kind of just smiled, I think, to myself in the mirror, even though it seems kind of weird to hug yourself, but and on Friday, the next thing that you cannot live without is freedom. So what they tell you to do in this exercise is to stand with your arms outstretched, and if you can, stand up and twirl in a circle with your arms outstretched, and one revolution around before each statement, and you say, I am awake, and you spin, I am powerful, and you spin, and I am free, and you spin. And I really felt free. And it's interesting, because I had a very energetic week, and a lot of 3D stuff and a lot of multi-dimensional stuff going on in the week, and it really made me feel all of those things. It made me feel awake to everything I had experienced. It made me feel powerful in that I was able to stick with something and to remember to do it, and to make it fun. And there were times when I would forget, and I would have to remind myself to do it, but I felt free. I did. I felt a little freer than I had before. And on Saturday, the next thing we can't live without is passion. And so on that one, we have to say, it's kind of a three-part thing on Saturday. So the first thing you do is you say a word. You choose your favorite word, and you say it 3 times while looking into your own eyes. And then for the next part, you hear your favorite sound. Now this one was a little bit, the word for me was easy, because I just came up with a word in that moment, and it was just a word that I love. The sound, I actually I thought about it for a minute, what I wanted to do, and so instead of music or even an instrument, or I just decided I would do 3 seconds of light language singing, and that just made me feel really good. It made me feel connected, and so that was the sound that I chose. But the idea is to listen to a favorite sound for 3 seconds. So you can listen to something on your your device or the birds or whatever your preference is. And then while look on all these are always while you're looking in the mirror, with the exception of the next one. So then for the third part for Saturday, the next part is you see your favorite image, and so you are to attach an image to the mirror or think of one in your mind's eye, and imagine that image for 3 seconds. That was really nice for me. I'm trying to even remember now what it was. Isn't it funny how you forget? I already think I forgot what I imagined, but I remember feeling really excited about that image. So that was really a nice feeling. So none of these are, they don't seem overly profound, but yet they really do seem to, well, they bring you into the focus, and they bring you into the now, and they bring you into spending out some quality time with yourself, even if it's only for the minute that it takes to do this exercise. But there's a connection that happens, and I think that that's obviously part of the process, and I'm curious to see what happens over the weeks that come. And part of it was being excited about just seeing what happens when you do this stuff, so that was kind of fun. So the last day on Sunday is the next thing we can't live without is dream and connect. To dream and connect, and so the idea here is that, as Bashar says, you can dream with little sleep, but you will go psychotic if you do not dream. And so that it's because you're reconnecting to your higher mind, and you're re-energizing your physical person. Which actually, I don't know, I wrote down, he had said, which is just an illusion. Your physical person, of course, is just an illusion. So I think really you're just you're re-energizing all that you are. And the 3 things that you say on Sunday are, and now Sunday's the only day where you say them with your eyes closed. And so on Sunday, it is, I am rested, I am connected, my life is a dream come true. And you're to say each of those 3 times. And it was kind of funny because by Sunday I felt anything but rested. But however, I actually was able to feel rested by saying it. I was even feeling a little disconnected, and by saying I am connected, I felt connected. And my life is a dream come true. Now, I have to laugh about this because it seems so funny and it seems so silly, and I laughed at myself out loud when I said it. But then I realized how profound it really was, because as I was saying, my life is a dream come true, and I was saying it 3 times. The last time I said it, I said, wait, how did I say that? I said, my dream is a life come true. And I started to laugh because I thought, my dream is a life come true. I thought, wow, now that made the whole week worth it. Because it was like, that to me was so profound, just by mixing those 2 things up, that because it does seem like that our dream really is our lives coming true. And that to me kind of said it all. So with that said, that's the outline of the program. So I think, okay, first of all, let's start with, do you want to talk about your experience, Christine, or does anybody else have questions first about the process or any of my experience before we go on to Christine? How's that? or anybody who wants to talk.
Mm, I get the idea. I like the idea too. It's a good idea to get in touch with yourself and focus on yourself and not be so outwardly focused. I like that idea.
Great.
So,
And actually a few people who have been telling me that they've been doing it they said that they've been enjoying it. So
Well, I kind of walked through it with you as you were laying it out. And one of, when you asked to, well, what was congruent for me is the word that I chose was connect. And then you said connect later. And I go, oh, okay. I've been told this means that I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I need to be doing. So, yay!
yay! You know how much I love synchronicity.
Oh, yeah. But the other part of that is that each day is it sounds so simple, and yet it sounds also very powerful as a way of connecting with who we are as well as where we are and what we're about. And that's an impression I have. I look forward to finding that out in experience. And I'm just excited. So thank you.
Yay! I'm excited for you too. And yeah, and like I said, you can hop in any day of the week you want to start it. It really doesn't matter. It was just kind of to give everybody just a little bit of structure, to start the program. But yeah, you can start any day of the week and end any day of the week. And the idea too is, even like Bashar said, he says, you guys don't have to, and I have to be honest, there was yesterday morning, I did forget to say that, yesterday morning, today's Sunday, yeah, I get confused sometimes. So yesterday morning was at Saturday morning, and between staying up late and then getting up, wanting to be up early for the webinar, I actually forgot to do the Saturday morning thing. And it was really funny because I kept thinking about it. Even every now and then during the webinar, I'd start thinking about it. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do it. I got to remember to do it. It's almost as if you're afraid to cheat because you're only going to cheat yourself. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. But so yes, I encourage you. I'm looking forward to hearing both of your results if you do hop in. So Christine, Whispering Teams, please. Love to hear your experiences, if any.
Yep. No, I wrote everything down. It was good that you actually said to write it down because then you remember. So yeah, Monday it actually felt the first day felt empowered and it actually felt good. And while I was saying it, my team gave me, I call it a lemonade feel, when you get the bubbles over your legs and body. In the evening, it picked up my energies. You could start feeling energy swirling around you. So that was quite cool. Tuesday was pretty much the same. Actually, Tuesday, the morning, it actually felt like it was shifting molecules in my energy field. Evening was the same. Wednesday, it felt strong and also felt the energy swirling around me, and my team confirmed it again. My team calling my guides and angels, yeah. They gave me confirmation on the abundance in the evening. It actually, because it didn't feel odd saying these things to myself, because in the morning before I get in the shower, I look at myself and say, Christina, I love you, you're beautiful, thank you. So doing this was probably easier than because when I first started doing it, that was hard.
That's a lesson to all of us because not all of us start our days like that. So thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. And I must admit, I agree with you. As it was funny, it felt really strong at the beginning of the week, and as the week went on, although Thursday was a low vibe day for me, but as it progressed, it didn't feel as strong. Well, it's actually, I lie. Friday morning was strong and powerful, so I'm pleased I wrote these things down. Saturday, I said the word love, and the word that I hummed for the sound, and I also put a heart shape on my mirror. Sunday morning, that was quieter. I cocked that one up. I did close my eyes and breathe, but I said the words with my eyes open, but I'll remember what you've said today. And this morning, which is Monday morning, I haven't done it yet because I've had a wee few songs, but I actually really enjoy it. It's actually good. Yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that. It's nice that you're one who already kind of practices that self-love, so that's a kind of a lesson to all of us that it is easier to do these sorts of things when you're already accustomed to showing yourself some form of self-love. And I have been practicing that myself for a long time, and I have to say I'm not as religious about it. And the other thing I have to say was there's a lot of things that did happen to me throughout the week, and I spent a lot of time with my family, with my mother and my sister, and in a healing situation, and that was right at the beginning because that was on Monday and Tuesday. So I found myself, because I was getting busy doing other things too, that I found myself not writing down everything that I was experiencing, because sometimes you're experiencing it and you don't want to take the time to write it down, and then you do forget. And now I'm realizing that, as even the things that you were saying, there were more things that were happening to me that I probably either didn't document or maybe I didn't relate it. But then I realized today, as I was meditating to get ready for tonight, I realized that that's part of the whole process too, is recording the things that are happening, because you may not necessarily think that they are related, but of course everything's related. So I like that you were very, very conscious about the actual energy changes that were happening within you too, because I felt them at different times, and I remember hearing different messages coming in, but I think we don't, especially those of us who this happens to pretty frequently, you don't always relate it to one or the other. But it's not the point is that it's irrelevant whether it's related, because it's all related. I mean, so writing it down, I think, is part of the challenge for me, is taking the time to write it down, all of those other things, because I feel like I don't want to miss any of the process. If we're going to do it once the first time through, it's like I don't want to miss any of it either,
I make sure I take my book with me.
And I do. I've been trying to carry, I've got a little notebook, and I've got my other book, and I've been trying to, but, so yeah, I'm really happy that, and anybody else who's out there who is joining us in this challenge, to devote the time to yourself really is a challenge, and we get so caught up not knowing who we are, forgetting who we are. Many of us have I don't, but I mean many people have little children. You're going in 20 directions, or you've got we all have demanding situations and jobs and people and relationships that you have to deal with, and yet we always say, it's almost like the very first, if somebody suggests something to us and we're in that crazy mode, the very first thing, and I've said this 100 times over my career life, is, I don't have time. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for myself. What do you mean? Well, then, guess what happens? We crack like little eggs. We freak out. We go off the handle. We yell at our children. We're mean. We're ugly at ourselves. We're ugly at our spouses. We snap. We're not centered. We're not grounded. And it took me decades to figure out. It's like you know it all along, but it took me decades to truly figure it out. If you don't actually do the things to make yourself feel better and to put yourself first, it's gonna manifest somewhere. And then it's going to knock louder and louder and louder until one day you just finally say, you know what? I am just as worth that 5 minutes a day as everybody else. And I can't help anybody else if I'm not putting myself first. Who's gonna put you first if you don't? most people don't have anybody else in their life who's going to put them first before them. You know, it just typically it's up to us. I mean, it is up to us to take the time and make the commitment and say, I matter. I am worth taking 5 minutes a day, and even if I think it's crap and it's not going to work, the worst thing that'll happen is, guys, it won't work. It'll do nothing. If that's the worst thing that'll happen, then I guess we're all right where we started. So what have we, I guess the question is, what do we got to lose by trying? So, you know, that's kind of, you know, yes, please. Oh, John Lee dropped out. Okay, hopefully she'll be right back. Felix, hi, welcome. Did you want to, are you following the program, or did you have any questions, or have any experiences?
I don't really know what the Hangout is about. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I actually did a video about a week ago about a self-challenge, a self-love challenge that I was inspired to do by a video that I watched by Bashar. It was an actual Bashar event, and during the event, he explained about a self-love. He didn't use the word challenge, but it's something that the Shakani, the Sassani society, civilization, had developed in order to initiate, well, I guess a lot of things, but self-love. And they're very, very simple, brief exercises. And I don't even like to use the word exercise, because what's a better word, Christine? I don't like the word exercise. Basically, all you're doing is look in the mirror and talking to yourself for like 3 seconds.
Pretty much, you're putting yourself first for a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it really is no more than that. John Lee, you dropped out. You had a question? I don't know if you can speak. You're muted. Well, we'll wait till she gets her microphone. Oh, there you go. There you go, Dal. You got it.
I knocked myself out of the hangout.
You're fine. And welcome back in. Did you have a question?
Not a question, just a comment. Oh, actually, 2 comments. One is I was thinking what a wonderful way to start the day when you're carpooling with kids to school, or before that happens. The other thing was I thank you for affirming me in my lifelong quest to notice and observe and share things that most people don't notice, like colors that come in, or the time of day, or how someone's life is parallel to mine, and or something within mine that's like that. And I'll get comments like, "Oh, John Way, you're overanalyzing too much. I don't think that's it." But they're awesome moments for me, and I'm going, why don't other people see these connections? Anyway, thank you for affirming me in that I'm not as weird as most of my friends and family think I am, but that something is, there's something real that I'm honing in on for whatever reason, and I'm just grateful that that's happening, because I can see now bits and pieces since I've been associating with y'all. I can see where things kind of linked into this all through my life, little events from my childhood, early childhood, on through my adult life, and it is amazing. And Christine, thank you for saying that they need to be written down, because I need to write these down before I forget them. Thank you.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys, and something that I was guided to do, so let me just put this out there. At first, I was going to type all of them up and put them in the event. However, when I did my meditation, with Bashar and the Shakani about doing this, they said if somebody needs that say somebody really needs to see it and one wants me to print it out, that's fine. However, they really prefer that everybody physically writes it down for themselves every day of the week what needs to be done, because it solidifies it energetically. They said by you physically having to write it down yourself and listening to the video, you can go back to the video and listen, but it's better to write it down for yourself because it energetically solidifies it in your brain. So I don't want to slight people if they want me to write it down, but I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I, you know, I think really with this whole, this is something.
And you're frozen.
Yeah, I guess I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties. So
Yeah, nothing like energy
I
and
guess I should
computers.
just at least take it off the air. But
Yep, you're frozen again.
yeah, am I back? Oh, shit. Oh no.
Just, yes.
Yes, you're
Oh,
back.
you going again?
I wonder if she closed out.
I don't know.
You know what? Maybe that's all that needed to be said this evening.
I was thinking that myself. Maybe it's meaning that's it, folks.
Uh-huh. Well, we'll see what the powers that be have in mind for us.
We do. And where do you live, generally?
I live in Houston, Texas. And what part of Australia are you?
I'm actually in the bottom of the South Island of New Zealand.
Oh, in New Zealand. Wow, cool.
Yep.
That's one of the places I'd like to visit if I ever get a chance.
And it's funny, Texas is the area my partner wants to get to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if you ever head this way, get in touch.
That's lovely.
Thank you.
Oh, she might be around again. Hi.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi, sorry about that. The internet keeps going in and out, in and out.
Well, I was taking that trip too, and Kristen and I were saying, well, maybe this is all that needed to be shared tonight.
Well, yeah, I know. I said, well, I guess maybe that's all we needed to say. But yeah, so I guess while we can still hear each other,
That's true.
That's always a bonus.
I wanted to say thank you. And I'll go ahead and post it next week, and we'll get together and we'll just see what happens. And hopefully I could, anytime you guys want to talk in between, always feel free to email me. Anybody who's got me, private message me if you like. Always open to conversation and questions. Thank you both so much, Johnny. I'm looking forward to chatting with you, and Christine was free.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's wonderful for me now to finally be able to even put a face to the comments, and that means more to me than anything too. And
I was actually thinking that the other day. I was thinking, oh, I've got the upper on you. I know what you look like, but you don't know what I look like.
Exactly. I'm like, and I know because sometimes I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, or I never know. So it's wonderful, and it means so much to me. The support and the comments and the love and it makes it so heartwarming for me to keep doing them, and to realize that there's people out there who are really listening, and I hope it's helping. And I can't always control, well, actually I don't. I mean, I can't control the information that comes through, so I just hope that it's useful. And sometimes it's just about finding our own inner light and our own power, and I know it seems redundant, but that's kind of what this exercise is all about too, is about finding that inner harmony, that place where self-love, and I don't know how much you heard before what I was saying, but that self-love is the key to giving everybody else permission to let themselves, to find their own, to put themselves first, even if it's for a few minutes a day, because it's crucial. It's not only crucial, but it's necessary to our survival, and we cannot help another, and we can't heal we cannot raise the vibration of the collective consciousness if we aren't about empowering each other and giving each other permission to find self-love and to take that time, because we're always been told all of our lives that putting yourself first is selfish. But if you don't do that, that's why there's disease in the world. That's why there's resistance in the world, because we don't. And then when we don't, we manifest the illnesses, and yet then we have nothing to give because we're sick. And so if we're taught that putting ourselves first is wrong somehow, and yet it's the only right thing to do, because again, no one's going to do it for you, and we cannot help each other and empower each other if we don't love ourselves. And something that you said about doing it generally before the carpool, it made me think too that about children in general, and how exciting it would be if we woke up every day and taught our kids to spend 5 minutes a day, not even, Kids know how to put themselves first, don't they? Because they demand to be put first, don't they? They're smart that way. They know that their world is the only thing that matters. They're the most important thing in their world, and you better make sure they're the most important thing in your world too, because they make sure you do that. So they know, they understand about that, and they don't have anybody else. So we need to teach them how to be self-empowering, how to be self-loving, how to nurture ourselves, how to care for ourselves, how to spend a moment with ourselves, and tell our kids every day how precious and beautiful and they are, and that there's no such thing as a flaw, because the flaw is the beauty. Your uniqueness is your gift. Being different is the idea. Nobody's the same. Nobody's the same on purpose. So it's all these little things that we just overlook in the bigness of our world, and then we don't understand why we're not loving ourselves, and why our children can't love ourselves and love themselves. And if we could start with them when they're little, teaching them, self-care and self-love is what's going to change the world. And it's actually them teaching us that, isn't it? Really.
The other aspect of a child being sort of self-centered, yet knowing what they need, they also trust that what they need will be provided, because they can't do it themselves. And that's something that we as humans, or at least in my life, I remember being taught to do things, to be self-sufficient and all, and at the same time, I'm at a point in my life where there are things I can't do anymore. And it's like, okay, I have to do what I can do. What is the priority? Do that, and then trust that whatever else is needed will come about in its own time.
Sorry about that. Christine has to go. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'm so happy. Yes, I was muted. Sorry about that. So yes, I'm just so pleased that everyone was here. Thank you. I think I'll just go ahead and go offline for now. So I appreciate everyone who's taking the time to do this challenge, and to do this for yourself, and to give somebody else permission to put themselves first too. And if we all learn to love ourselves unconditionally, we can begin to love each other unconditionally. And that truly, to me, is the gift of this whole thing. So if there's anything that you'd like to say, John Lee or Felix, feel free. Otherwise, we'll say goodnight.
I just want to thank you for making this meeting possible, for going over everything that Bashar has taught. I will look into that video. And yes, writing is a crucial element of remembering things. Every teacher knows that. So I don't, I think it's wise.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And just going with my instincts on that, but that was kind of what they said. And I'll be happy to, I'll post the video, the very first, the introduction video. That was the word I couldn't come up with earlier, guys. Introduction. I told you I'm tired. Introduction video, yeah. So, and it was on. It was actually on 7/7. So hopefully it'll be easy to find. But I'll post the link to the original video in the event page and on this YouTube video. So everybody, in case you want to, reach back and check it out. That's great. And thank you to Felix and John Lee for joining me. It's been always a pleasure. Thank you. I love your energy. And with that, I will say goodnight to everybody. Oh, go ahead, John Lee.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. And again, this is Wendy with Languages of Lights, and you know where to find me. I'm here. I'm on Google+. I'm on Facebook. Facebook at Synchronicity, and my Languages of Lights page is on Facebook as well. But here I am, and enjoy. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for loving yourself. And thank you, Bashar, and our Sassani and Shakani family for bringing these beautiful tools to our human collective consciousness. Nikalia Sassani Atada. Namaste.